Hello everybody, welcome to Dublin, Bala Clia as we call it in Irish, and the capital city of Ireland. So I'm up here, a mixture of business and pleasure at the moment, coming to visit my first granddaughter, whose name is Rosie, who's a very adorable little character. But I'm also here to do some research for a book. The place I'm coming to do the research is a place called Epic. It's just right here behind me, and it's the Irish Museum of Immigration. And immigration is such a huge part of the Irish story. The Irish diaspora all over the world, literally all over the planet, have had such a huge impact. And all of my stories, I think, to a greater or lesser degree, to think or talk about immigration, leaving this country. So the series I want to talk to you about today is a series I wrote a couple of years ago now called the Carmel Sheehan series. And how it came about was I was driving along one day in Dublin, actually, as it happened, and a lady came on the radio and she was talking about how she had been raised in a Catholic church run orphanage, and how when the time came for her to leave, though she hadn't endured any of the terrible abuses that we have come to, I suppose, almost expect from these places, but she just felt that she was very unprepared for life, being raised in an institution. So she spoke so eloquently and so beautifully on the subject that got me thinking, and that night I started writing a book called Letters of Freedom. And the central character in this book is called Carmel Sheehan. And Carmel is raised in an orphanage, told her entire life that her mother was a young, unmarried girl who abandoned her and never again came looking for her. That nobody ever wanted to adopt her, and that is why she just remained in this institution all of her life. So when Carmel is coming up for 18 years of age, and they're telling her that she's no longer under the care of the state, she'll have to fend for herself, a man writes to the nuns and says that his wife has died and he has two little girls and he's looking for somebody to marry. Even the nuns think this is insane in this day and age. I mean, this is like something you'd hear in the 1800s. And we're talking about in relatively recent times. But Carmel says, you know what, I'll meet him. All she wants is a family. It's all she's ever wanted. So she meets this man. He's a widower. He seems quiet and shy, but he's got these two little girls, and so she agrees to marry him. What she doesn't realise is when she marries him that firstly he's got this horrible witchy sister called Julia, who's a complete dreadful human altogether, and I love writing these people, but and on top of that, the house is a shrine to his dead wife. So every day Carmel has to dust around all the photographs of her. Nothing in the house can be changed. All the decor is hers and so on. But she feels, look, at least it's a house and it's a home and it's better than nothing. The girls don't ever really warm to her because their poisonous auntie sort of keeps them away from her. And one day, out of the blue, through a weird series of coincidences, she gets a Facebook message. And the Facebook message suggests that the story she's believed all her life about where she comes from and who she is a complete lie. And in fact, that her birth parents and her whole family and her history is something completely different. The person who contacts her, she's never met him. He assures her that he doesn't have any bad intentions and invites her to come to Dublin to meet him, to hear her true story. Carmel deliberates and wonders, and eventually the temptation to come is too much. So she decides to go, and she goes to Dublin, and there she meets Dr. Sharif Khan, and he tells her the real story. And it's one that leaves Carmel absolutely astounded. But of course, as all these things do, it causes more questions than it answers. So this is a 3-part trilogy. The first book is called Letters of Freedom. The second is called The Future's Not Ours to See. And the third book is called What Will Be. You'll see the connection between those titles when you read the books. It's ultimately, I think, a heartwarming tale of how one woman was told a lot of lies about her past, but ends up using the truth to build herself a truly remarkable future. It's called the Carmel Sheehan series. It's available on Amazon. I really hope if you decide to read it that you really enjoy it. Bye!